I was 6, I would lie on my back in the backyard of our apartment in Rockville, Maryland, and stare at the sky. I would wonder, how does the sky hold it all together? How far does it go? How can a plane fly? My parents, both academics, filled our home with books and with questions. They encouraged me to ask, to wonder, to never stop being curious. I grew up believing there were no limits, and I always followed my curiosity. This curiosity led me to where I am today, pursuing a PhD in aerospace engineering. But looking back, I see more clearly. That moment in the backyard wasn't just about science. It was the first flicker of purpose, the sense that I need answers to big questions, that I want to understand how things work. I didn't know what it meant. I just knew I had to follow it. And that's how purpose begins. Not with a decision, but with a feeling. We often talk about purpose like it's a destination, some big aha moment when everything finally makes sense. But that's not how it was for me. Purpose, I've learned, is built one yes at a time. And every time I said yes to something I didn't fully know how to do, something in me grew. I learned, I stretched, I proved to myself that I can do hard things. I studied STEM in high school, often being the only girl in the room. Later on, at the age of 17, I applied to a dual degree excellence program in mechanical engineering. Hundreds applied to the program. Only 20 got in. I'll never forget the phone call telling me I made it. Then came the first day of class. 20 students. Once again, I am the only woman in the room. My purpose those early years, to learn, to prove I can do hard things, to build credibility. In undergrad, I studied how planes fail. My very first job as an engineer was investigating plane crashes. In aerospace mechanics, we use the Saint Venant principle to analyze failures in aircraft structures. Once a crack starts to propagate in a wing, we can evaluate the behavior of the crack using that principle. During that time, I started to connect that the human body might behave like a machine, like a plane. In my PhD today, I study failures in the human body. I use the Saint Venant principle to study response of biological tissues to local pathologies. What started as a desire to understand how machines are built has now become a tool that might help save lives. And just like that, my purpose shifted. Purpose shifts. If you're growing, it has to. Planes were no longer the destination. Now, it was trying to understand diseases in the body. I realized I wasn't only fascinated by how planes work, but by how the most complex machine works, the human body. Now, I study how the body breaks, so we might understand how to keep it whole. But then, my purpose expanded. After I presented my research in a conference where there were mostly men, I understood I have to do something about it. I've been the only woman in the room more times than I can count, from high school, through university, and in the past decade of working in tech, leading cutting-edge developments. It never made sense to me. Women are about 50% of the population. So why aren't there more of us in the STEM fields? Why aren't there more female CEOs? So I decided to do something about it and founded a nonprofit program called You. Our mission? To help high school girls become the next generation of tech leaders. Yes, we teach them STEM, but we also teach them that leadership isn't given, it's claimed. Year after year, they meet top women in tech from the leading companies like Microsoft, Mercedes, and leading VCs, and they start to believe, if she did it, I can too. We erase limiting beliefs by replacing them with possibilities. One day, I received a message from a mother. She wrote me that her daughter had heard me speak at the U program, and after hearing me, she applied to the same excellence program I attended, and she got in. It's for moments like this that I founded the program. I've studied how planes fail, how biological tissues rupture, but I've also seen how confidence breaks, quietly, invisibly, especially in young girls. It breaks when they don't see women in leadership, when they're told to be quiet, when they don't believe they belong. And it is our responsibility as a society to fix problems once we see them. In an article I published in Nature, I shared what I've learned about promoting gender equality and invited institutions around the world to join this mission. I've learned that you rebuild confidence in girls with exposure, with mentorship, with community. The purpose of this part of my journey? To be the voice those girls need to hear. To help others follow their fire, especially when the world tells them not to. So no, looking back, I see I didn't become an engineer just to understand how things work. I became one because it gave me the tools to make an impact, to use what I love for something bigger than myself, to promote gender equality in STEM, to build the next generation of tech leaders, to show them the path to success and that anything is possible. Because that's what purpose is. It starts with what you love, and it becomes real when you use it to help others. Purpose isn't something you wait to find. It's something you build, choice by choice, step by step. If I've learned one thing, it's this. Don't wait for clarity. Listen to the whisper, that small voice in you that says, this feels right. Whatever feels aligned with your soul, do that. And you'll build a life of purpose without even realizing it. One day, someone will look at you and say, because she followed her guts, I'm brave enough to follow mine. That's what leadership looks like. That's what purpose becomes. Thank you.